One UI down, another to go. Welcome everyone to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about the new updates that came to the Animal Farm UI. But before we do, as always, let's go ahead and take a look at the Drip charts. So as you guys can see here, Drip is sitting at about $6.67, at least at the time I'm recording this video. So the price seems to be about the same on a 24-hour period, moving just a few cents up and down. If we actually take a look at the charts, we can see that there's just this kind of up and down motion with a little bit more of a drop here towards the current time of the day. If we take a look at the 7-day charts, we can see a consistent drop in price over time, which has been pretty consistent with the drops we've been seeing basically since all-time highs with Drip. We take a look at the 1-month charts here. We can see there was that big initial drop that happened at the beginning of September, and we've kind of been on a slow decline with a little bit of relief rallies along the way, which tends to be following what's going on in the larger crypto market, with the outlook continuing to look very bearish. Now, before we go over and take a look at the shiny new UI for the Animal Farm, I did want to take a look at a couple of tweets from the official Drip Twitter account about a couple things they've got going on. So they tweeted out, "We have an ad up on CoinGape Media, and we are putting the finishing touches on our first major Twitter promo push. There is a lot more coming," leaving a link to the Animal Farm and of course the notification of the launch on the 18th of October. So as you guys can see here, this is one of the ads that they're going to be placing, and they're going to be starting a Twitter promotion across the board to get more recognition to the Animal Farm project. And of course, the Animal Farm will benefit the Drip ecosystem as that launches, as people lock up the Drip tokens in order to earn dog tokens in order to earn more within that ecosystem on the Animal Farm. One other major thing I wanted to touch on is, for any of you guys who have seen my 2 Fudder review videos where I push back against a couple of the Drip Fudders, one of the things I did give them credit for was the fact that the white paper and the resources to learn more about these projects was a bit outdated on the official links and sources of information. Well, it does look like, according to at least an hour ago, that they are building a wiki, which has been talked about before. So the wiki coming along well, it's basically done. Just need to go over it with a fine-tooth comb before I make it public. It's a much cleaner way for us to present and link our docs hosted in many languages, with again the link and the notification of the launch. So let's take a look at this photo here. We can see here that this is going to be a really in-depth wiki where people can go here to learn all about how the Animal Farm and probably how the Drip network ecosystem works, considering right here on the bar, we do have a link to Drip, where I would imagine they're going to give a lot more resources, information that are current and up to date about the project. So gone are the days of looking at the really outdated PDF of Drip, but hopefully here will be a resource where new investors can go and current investors can go to learn more and educate themselves about the ecosystem that is being developed by Forex Shark and his developing team. I'm going to assume that this is going to become a great resource to many once this is fully out and available. And of course, once it is out, I'd love to do a video going over this wiki and checking out all the resources that will be provided publicly for new and current investors. So now that we've gone over those Twitter updates, talked about the wiki, which has been one of the pain points for me with the outdated white paper, let's go ahead and take a look at the new Animal Farm website and the new UI that has been updated for the dApp. Okay, so if you go over to the animalfarm.app, which is what was being linked in all the Twitter accounts, you guys can actually see that they're currently doing an Animal Farm giveaway where you can win up to $5,000. So I will leave a link to animalfarm.app in the description of this video. You guys can go in there and make sure to enter in so you guys can have a chance to win that money. On top of that, they've got an interview here, the latest interview from the Animal Farm, to go over kind of how it works and operates. And they can see here the people that they have partnered with in order to make all of this work. They talk about their vision. Of course, they leave a couple of ways you can actually launch the dApp, one here and one up here. They also show some of their latest Medium articles, so people can go back and read about the recent updates and information about the project that have been released on those articles. And of course, they also give a beginner's guide on an onboarding of how to get involved in the Animal Farm, how to use MetaMask, and everything that you would need to know that way. They give testimonials here at the end of the website. So in my opinion, the website looks really good, and they do mention that they are audited by Paladin, which is good to see that they're putting their auditors on the website so people can easily access and see where those are coming from. And of course, the partners are listed a couple of times on the website. So at first glance, this website seems very clean in comparison to the old website. It looks much more modern, and I think it's going to be much more appealing to new investors first being exposed to this ecosystem. So if we actually click on launch app, it's going to take us over to this page here, which is the actual dApp. Now, I think this looks legions better than what it did before, and we're continuing that more modern and more appealing look that I think is going to make people feel like this is a much more professional project, and it was very well thought out rather than just some sort of a startup that people just threw together in order to get a token and a project out there. And I think it's going to make it stand out comparative to a lot of other projects, because honestly, I've seen quite a few projects have some pretty terrible dApps and some pretty terrible websites. So it's good to see one that is trying to strive forward and making something that's a little bit more modern and looks more appealing. Of course, as usual, you have the link to connect your wallet up in the top right corner. They do show the price and an option to go ahead and go directly over to Pancakeswap in order to buy the pig token. Now, I'm curious to see what they'll do with this button up here in the top right. It does say buy pigs now. Obviously, dogs aren't available for purchase, but once that launches, I wonder if there'll be two buttons in that top right corner, if they'll switch between them, or if they'll just rotate. I don't know what they're going to do, or if they're going to just leave that to pigs. I guess we'll have to see once the full launch occurs. Up here at the menu, we can see we've got the pig pen. We can go to the piggy bank, the dog pound, the farms and pools. We can go ahead and add liquidity to the animal farm or go to the drip liberation contract. We can, of course, go and swap the tokens, and we can enter into the drip garden. So down here, we can see the pools and the farms and the products that are available. We can see some of what is offered through this ecosystem. We can see that there's an explanation of what the pig pen is and a chance to go ahead and enter that there. Same with the dog pound, the piggy bank, and that's pretty much they're going to cover on the first page of the dApp. And then at the bottom right, they do go to the docs and white paper. And I'm hoping that with the new wiki coming out, this will be a place that you can click on to go to that wiki and learn more about this ecosystem. And hopefully they'll also put it up here on the menu bar as well, so people can easily access those documents to learn more about the system itself in greater detail. Clicking on the actual pig pen here, I think this looks way better than it did before. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. It looks a lot more clean and a lot more organized than it had historically. And I don't want to go through, sit here and make this a super long video going through each one of these, but I would definitely recommend you guys go to the dApp, get familiarized with it. It seems to be that each one of these is going to have a similar layout and design for each one of the different pieces of the ecosystem. So I would recommend you going through and familiarizing yourself with this before the official launch on the 18th. Now, I will say that on the 18th, it's going to be a big day with the launch of the animal farm. So do be prepared with whatever your game plan is. If you decide you're going to purchase in, if you're going to move funds around, whatever you're going to do, don't be blindsided by that date. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen with the animal farm. With the initial launch of the animal farm, we saw Drip respond very positively to the ecosystem launch, and the price showed that accordingly. So I'd be curious to see if Drip is going to respond in the same way, if pig token and dog token are going to respond in that way as well, considering that the animal farm has been off for the better part of a year now. I will say that the updates that they're bringing out are awesome, and it's good to see that they're going to be spending quite a bit of time marketing everything out. It does look like currently though, by clicking on the Drip Liberation contract, it does take you to the old website in order to access that Liberation contract. And I would imagine maybe when they do the UI updates for Drip, that is where the Drip Liberation contract will get an update for its website as well. Of course, the swap is just going to take people to their now built-in swap where you can trade BUSD for pigs. And I imagine eventually you're going to be able to have dogs as an option here as well. Of course, the Drip Garden is involved here. So it's interesting to see that the Drip Garden is here, but not the Drip Liberation contract, which I would imagine is going to come with the Drip UI updates that we'll be seeing in the near future after the launch of the animal farm, when the Drip ecosystem will be given a little bit more attention once the animal farm is completely up and running. So that was the basic overview of the new animal farm UI. I'm actually really excited to see this in practice once it launches fully on the 18th. And I'm sure you guys are all going to be seeing a lot more promotional content. Forex will probably be doing a lot more interviews in preparation for the launch of the entire ecosystem. I'm really looking forward to the same UI updates that we'll be seeing for the Drip network when that finally launches after the animal farm goes fully live. And of course, as best I can, I will be keeping you guys updated on that as well. Let me know what you guys thought of this video down in the comment section down below, and if there's anything else you guys would like to see me covering in the future. If you come this far into the video, please don't forget to smash the like button, as it does help me with the algorithm and gets this video out to more eyes and to more viewers, and greatly helps myself, the channel, and of course the projects that I'm covering. And of course, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so that you can be notified when I produce new content. As always, this video is not financial advice and is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I will catch you guys all in my next video.